Now, concerning your position on the ethnostate, Reva, at first it was more like you were wondering what will be your place if an ethnostate shows up, or if the place you live in becomes an ethnostate. Now, at this point, while I've explained the fact that, well, there can be separation of multiple states from the US, and some areas can converge toward white ethnostate, other could be multicultural states. Suppose that you are in that situation. So there's a white ethnostate developed, there's a black ethnostate developed, and there's a multicultural ethnostate developed all at once from the breaking down of America. Would you want to join one of these?
Well, I guess that actually, brings me to what my main point was. My whole argument was just like, so like my boyfriend and I were talking, and it was just like, I don't know if anybody else has felt like this, but there's almost like this impending sense of something is going to happen. I don't know. It's kind of weird, but whatever. It's just like,
how so? What do you mean? Like what exactly?
Like either some like sort of political turnover or something like that, just some sort of big explosion of some sort that would like destabilize a certain group of people or something like that. Just something big that would happen in the world that I don't know would possibly affect all of us. I'm not like a doomsday person or anything like that. It's just like it seems like tensions are rising and it's going to manifest itself in something someday. So just yeah. But so we were just like, well, what about people who we're not immigrants, we're not people who partake in any other culture other than like American culture, like the things that we do, and like we're pretty similar to our American peers or white American peers. So it's just like where would we fit in? And I personally have absolutely no disagreements with the creation of an ethnostate at all. Like neither of us do. So we just wanted to get I wanted to get that out there. Was like, I don't disagree with the idea of an ethnostate. I just wanted to know like where people like me would stand on that.
May I ask what race is your boyfriend?
He's half white and half black.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Yeah, JF, do you know what where she would stand? See, this is the reason, like, for me personally, I don't think, like, if people want an ethno state and it's in Florida, I think that's where Spencer wants his. Like, for example, and it was just one area. Like, I'm cool. I'm for liberty. If there's a certain group of people who want to do that, that's cool.
Yeah.
But then we have people who, like, I'm sure you're very well versed in American culture. You know,
I'd like to think so.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we have someone like her who's the exception from an immigrant who comes here and tries like putting, the Muslim culture in America or something like that. So what do you think, Jeff?
I think I would just try to frame the rules of the ethnostate so that I can kick her boyfriend and keep her.
Jesus.
But I'm just kidding.
Should I ask him what he thinks? He's in the room and he's watching over there.
He's just like, Jesus.
I'm kidding. Yeah, I mean, people are saying on the chat the place where you fit is India. Now, I would agree that any country like the US that separates will have an obligation to find a solution for people like Reva, because she doesn't fit in India. That's the reality. It would take a lot of learning of Indian culture for her to fit back into India. And so, obviously, any state like the US that has been a multicultural state would have to have outs for people. And those people who refuse the outs, in my view, and it would be great to hear Ryan on this, because Ryan has made what I consider to be probably the best and most straightforward video on what would happen if the US could separate, and to what extent is that realistic. I think that there needs to be an out for everyone. Ryan, are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. Yeah, I guess I would say like, and all the realistic partitions I've seen and what I've done is it's basically just a small area that's the white ethno state and a black ethno state. I have no idea how many blacks really want an ethno state, really. So the thing is, most of the country, like unless you're one of like the 5 or 6 million people in the area out of 323 million people that are in sort of the prescribed area that I say should be part of the white ethno state, you probably won't have to move at all. Like it's literally just Idaho, Wyoming, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, and like part of Oregon is the area claimed by King Ryan. So that's so the reality is very few people would even have to move. And also, in practice, if like this is getting really into LARPy territory, pipe dream kind of stuff, but like in practice, in my proposal, all you do is you go into an area and you say, okay, this is an area that's already around 80% white, and then you say no more non-white immigration, and a lot of non-whites will just move out just because they have jobs elsewhere and stuff like that. And if they're just moving out and not moving in, that's going to push that white number up. And then if you want to get even higher to say like 90, 95% white, then you just pay them to leave. And that's basically the plan. That's how I see it. I really don't think you need hardly any authoritarianism at all.
And the kind
ideally.
In the kind of world we're living in, though, with how politically tense it is, and the very serious anti-white narrative going around, do you think that would ever happen? That's the one thing I can't foresee, like the way people just get super. I mean, look at like Black Panther, the movie that just came out. One bad review, and everyone's jumping on that reviewer saying he's racist for disliking a superhero movie, and it gave it a 3 out of 5.
First off, I think it's just a small, highly vocal people who are jumping on that. I don't think that's a.
You only think it's just a hype. I mean, it's all of Rotten Tomatoes, though. Like all of Rotten Tomatoes. In fact, one of the reviews on the blurbs of the positive reviews was Black Panthers matters. I was just like, ugh. We got Red Elephant here. What's up, man?
What's up, man? Hey.
How you doing, man? Nice to see you. He was there yesterday during the Sargon stream, which actually question for all of you here, what you all think about that stream yesterday, that debate. That wasn't a debate, apparently.
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed by the Sargon. I mean, I'm not even disappointed. In fact, I knew that's the only way it could turn. Sargon escapes the questions. And so I want to be clear, when I criticized Anglin on my Twitter, I'm not saying that Sargon was better. I'm saying that these people, they need intellectual guidance. They're like elementary school students. They need someone to take them by the hand to remain on the track of IDs. This stream is nothing. It's like there's nothing that came out of it, not even the positions of people. It was very emotional. And so it was terrible.
I think it was just Sargon interrupting the entire time. It's just like it was your stream, right, Andy? Sargon and Richard Spencer, and all he did was interrupt him the entire time. I think that.
Yeah.
So you agree with that? So the debate the debate yesterday was mainly regarding ideas. I think Sargon actually agreed that it's a problem. This multiculturalism being shoved down the throats of the American people. I think that he acknowledged that, but it was just a debate about how to fix it. And what he said was that he had like some 10,000-year plan or something like that, or some 100-year plan that he had.
I asked him. I'm like, hey man, what's your plan? He's like, I'm not gonna tell you. And then later, Bate,
yes, I remember that.
You saw that, yeah. And then Bate was like, "Can you give us an idea of when it's gonna happen?" Right. He said 2 decades, and we're like, "Well, tell us so we can start helping you to destroy the SJWs." Like, I'm down for rooting them. You know what I mean? And
right.
And sorry, I keep getting your name. Rava.
It's like Raven, but like. Rava.
Yeah. I want to say Raven. What did you think about first of all, what's your political position that you think that you hold? And then what did you think of the stream?
So I guess I mean, I guess I know a lot of people don't really like this term, but I would say that I'm centrist. I'd like to think that I'm far more liberal than I am conservative. But the spectrum has been shifting like left for a really long time. So I guess most like if I stated my views and stuff, people would probably call me a racist and think that I was conservative or something like that. So
We're on the right stream.
Yeah.
Just-
Here I am. Yeah, I would definitely say I'm like central because I believe in certain things. Like, I believe in like, yes, if you want an abortion, you should be able to have one. But then at the same time, I don't believe in like mass immigration or like illegal immigrants being, an acceptable thing.
Yeah.
All
right.
And then as far as the stream, okay, so the first one that I saw with Richard Spencer, the thing that I was getting super pissed off about was that he was trying to explain to Sargon like what he was talking about, and then Sargon just kept interrupting him. Like, would you let the man speak? What is wrong with you? Like, you are asking him questions, so let him fucking talk. What are you talking about? And then yesterday, I laughed really hard when he was like, "Oh, I don't want to share it with you. I'm not going to tell you." It's like, so who is your like who are you allying with here? Like, it's obviously not you guys. So like, who are you going to ask for help? I don't understand.
It's just him alone. He's gonna destroy all the. I've been speaking to people like, what does that mean? Like, what's the alternative
Sargon seems to
hypothesis?
be on the track of, the alt-right is not mainstream enough, and I have the key to mainstream politics, and I'm going to be influential in the world. He's going to hit a brick wall when he realizes that the very democracy that he stands behind is the tool by which people have been opening the borders of his country and of other countries to floods of immigrants that will eventually replace them.
Yeah. And one thing I would say is that I don't know how much substantially different the liberalist movement is from just, I don't know, bog standard conservatives in the UK. Granted, I don't know much about the politics in the UK, but it doesn't seem to be that much different from, the conservatives in the Republican Party and stuff like that. One thing I would say that's kind of weird about what Sargon is doing, and he did this before when he was talking about how I don't even consider Mediterraneans white. But then he's deconstructing what is white, and on the same time, it seems odd that he's on there saying the alt-right are cucks because they want to let Frenchmen and Italians and Germans and Poles into England. I want to keep England English, right?
Wait,
but then,
yeah, he did.
oh yeah. But then on the other hand, he says I don't think white is a real thing, and that's just something that you don't really see. That's like not a real axis that like people actually have. That's like not a real belief that like, I mean, technically you could be like really pro-English but not care about race, but that's like not something that actually exists in the real world. So I think Sargon was just kind of doing that to say like, I'm even more hardcore than the alt-right cucks, but I deny the existence of race or something. It was really weird. I think he's trying to do something to say like, I'm more real than the alt-right, but at the same time, I don't want to say.
Yeah, well, I was confused because there was a good section of the Spencer debate where he's like, what is white? And then he's like, like he kept saying that over and over. And then when they asked him if Lawrence Fishburne was
but then when
black,
he wants to attack people for like not being white enough, he knows exactly what white is. That's
his beliefs haven't done anything. I mean, if you look at London, I think I'm correct on this. I think 50% or over 50% now of citizens in London are foreign born. If 50,000 people downloaded the Al Qaeda handbook in 2013 in England, so I mean, it's just like the mainstream conservatives here who say that this is a nation of immigrants. Who cares? I had a comment in one of my videos. Who cares if there's more than one than the other? If they come here and have more children, this is a nation of immigrants. Even mainstream conservatives are touting this talking point nowadays, and it has done nothing for us. We just keep becoming more and more multicultural. We went from 4 million Hispanic people of Hispanic descent in America in 1950 to 70 million today. And we all know why it's happening. We all know why the Democrats want open borders. We all know why huge lobbies like AIPAC give Chuck Schumer $300,000 in 2016 to open the border so that they all these different corporations who have ties with AIPAC and the Israel lobby, they get cheaper workers. A lot of these people are in, food and manufacturing and things like this. And none of these mainstream conservatives have done it and have done anything. In fact, they've just let it happen. What are your views on immigration? You said that you're you're right leaning on immigration. What are your
Me?
views on it? Yeah, you.
Oh, yeah. So, okay, like I'm a child of immigrants. Like my mom and her sisters were born in Singapore, and my dad's from India. So they moved to the United States, and went through the whole citizenship process and everything. So I have a lot more respect for people who go through the process because I've seen every single person in my family go through it. I'm the only person in my family born in the United States. So they all had to go through it, and just like seeing the years of waiting and the years of like, being restricted in what you can do because you're not technically a citizen yet. And like having to travel back and forth. Like I've seen the process, and I'd like to think that most people who want to immigrate here illegally, they would want to assimilate into the culture because that's what my parents did. So like we maintained our like Indian culture at home. Like I grew up in a traditional household, but then I wasn't limited in what I could experience as far as being American. Um, so I have like a bit of both. So I mean, illegal immigration to me, it's just another thing where it's taking away from American citizens. And I hadn't really thought about the whole like voting pattern of like immigrants and people who don't just seem to want to sponge off of the like taxpayer more or less. So yeah, I
Right.
don't agree with it. I don't think that if you're not productive toward in society, why are you here? You don't have any right to be here if you're not giving anything back and you're taking everything. So
I mean, if an estimated 49%, this is according to Pew Research, 49% of legal immigrants have accepted one or more of the welfare programs, whether that be a TANF, SNAP, WIC, any of these different welfare programs. So they are becoming public charges.
mm,
And we see Ted Kennedy, and I don't know when your parents immigrated here. What year did they immigrate here?
92, I believe.
So this would be probably, did they come through, do you know what type of program they came through? Did they come through diversity visa program? Did they come through in
I actually didn't. I have no idea about that. It's just like so.
Well,
Yeah,
it
I
would
mean,
be
I have a
after Reagan. It would be
very
after Reagan gave amnesty. So
yeah,
probably within one of those waves.
but
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean,
if you look at, I mean, they're becoming public burdens. We don't in the 1800s when we were getting all these different immigrants here. People like to say, what does it say on the Statue of Liberty? We're a nation of immigrants. We only had about 30 million people here during those times. So we actually needed immigration here. And I think up 1930s, 1940s, we only had about 100 million people here. The truth of the matter is right now, 350 million people here in America. I think that it's time that we can be a little bit more selective with our immigration. A lot of people want a 10-year moratorium. I say only accept immigration from developed nations, aside from elite STEM professionals. Other than elite STEM professionals, I say only developed nations should be coming here. Before 1960, we always like to talk about the Immigration Act in 1960. Pretty much every single state, their source of immigration was from a developed European country. It went from favoring European countries to basically only Mexico. If you look at it now, 40 of the 50 states, their source of immigration comes from Mexico. So we're accepting these Hispanic immigrants who are taking welfare and who are leeching on the backs of the American people. And I just think that a lot of people have a problem with that, whether they like to admit it or not.
Right.
And
I
did
think
you hear this? The red elephant is for elite STEM professionals. Now we can hear
I
you,
couldn't
right?